This is Intake, this is Project Z, and this is our first episode for 2019. And I'm about to take a dump and put it into the car. It's a dump pipe. It's a poo joke. So we're here with Project Z at Korumburra Exhaust, and we're ready to take off the old and busted and install the new and shiny. My mate Aaron's going to give us a hand. You'll remember him from our last episode of Operation Sportswagon, where we installed the mad Porsche 911 Turbo WRX, whatever it was, exhaust. Made some straight pipe noises, made some no exhaust noises. Oh, we're going to do the same today. We're going to take the front half of the exhaust from the dump pipes back to the aftermarket section that we've got and fuck it right off. That means having to remove this heat shielding, remove the dump pipes from the turbo back, fuck off this EGR bullshit because nobody needs that. Do the same on the other side. Everyone knows the other side is lather, rinse and repeat of the first side. This could possibly be a number of beer jobs. We don't know that because the midsection is easy to take off. The dump pipes at the turbo are a unknown X factor. So grab yourself a 6-pack and we'll calculate that up at the end. I'm going to guess it's a 4 beer job. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this is like 1 beer. It's like 3 beers. That'll do. 4 beers. Grab 6 just in case you need spares. So before Aaron gets to work, I'm just going to let you all know that we pre-lubed our nuts because that makes them easier to get off. Little tip for the ladies out there. And we've already sheared the first bolt. We're off to a good start. Truly is one of those jobs that's easier to do on a hoist than at home. It's just, you can fuck this pipe off, dude. So we just used a breaker bar and turns out it broke the second bolt. 2 for 2. Third strike and it's out, like, because the pipe will fall off. Third, it's out. All right, 3 for 3.
Someone changed the size just for our convenience.
That would have been the first year apprentice.
Oh!
We've got one!
We undid it!
And just like that, it's still stuck on there.
Oh, we're on a winner now. Unprecedented today.
Unprecedented, word of the day. Thanks Aaron, you've stolen my bit.
Oh.
Let's just remove the stud.
Yeah, we'll do it a different way again.
And just like that, we've fucked off the nope.
Not quite.
No, we haven't.
We still have some more bolts.
We've got some more bolts. I used like a whole tube of gasket glue to glue these on the last time that I undid them. So that's probably restrictive in itself.
Okay.
There you go, on there, champ. Cross-threaded?
I think your nuts are just rusty.
Yeah. There's a bit of karma for you. Fucking hell. That threw a spanner in the works. Oh, it's coming. That's what she said. I reckon I did it up too tight.
Hey, I'm gonna blame you.
Yeah. Can't help but feel that I'm holding up the wrong end of this exhaust because this has got hangers.
Yeah, I know how big my tool is and how much space I need to put it in.
Oh, why don't you just host the show then, man?
Well, I could. Jeez.
Jesus.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You just sit back behind the scenes and
Drink some beers? Yeah.
Beautiful. Fuck that right. Oh, it's a stud too.
Yeah.
So, I used a lot of glue the last time I sort of took this apart. Oh, fucking Jesus. Too many ooga doogas. No, I don't have any licenses. No, that's not going to fit. Well, at least I tried. Important step in removing a factory part of this exhaust system is fucking off this EGR pipe, because otherwise it will get caught up. And then later on we'll remove the rest of this later on. I just said later on twice. That was redundant, like this EGR pipe. And just like that, we've disconnected it. There we go. I've made jokes about this being exhausting before, so I'm not going to do it again. Another man's tools are boomerangs. For those overseas, they always fucking return. Except for when I throw them, I can't get boomerangs to return. So because the temp senders on the catalytic converters are, you know, all stuck in place, they're burnt into position, I'm going to cut these off, because I'm a dog person anyway. So because we cut these wires off, I'm saving weight by, oh fuck, I need a 10mm socket, and we're never going to find that, are we? We're going to remove the brackets that go with them, because that saves us about 15 grams. So what you're saying is that it only goes one direction. Oh, this spanner lights up my world like nobody else. And just like that, we'll just push this up in there. All right, apparently that's as far as it's going to go. We'll get there. The more I push through, the greater chance I'm going to have of finding it on the other side. It's making an odd noise now. Just tucked it in. It's man. So the next step is to undo the hangers from the midsection of the exhaust in front of the cats. And once they're out, we should be able to just drop this whole midsection of the exhaust out and get the fuck on with it. Well, it is nearly beer o'clock. And just like that, we fucked off this first part of the exhaust. Whoa, fucking caught it. Anything that you need for later on, we'll put somewhere safe. That's what happens, you use a whole tube just for two flanges. I'm not going to go into the moist flange stuff. You want to see that? Look at our Subaru exhaust video. There was plenty of moist flange in that. Also, there's videos in RedTube with plenty of moist flange. So now that we're ready to remove the rest of the factory dump pipes, we're going to start it up and blow some dust out of the turbos. Fuck it, you guys like to hear loud shit. Not in gear. Sounds like a fucking truck. I won't get the thing hot. Unlike the Subaru, I don't actually like the sound of that without nothing on there. Let's put some pipes on the thing. Going up! So we're up to the hardest part, which is removing the factory dump pipes. These are in like a half dump. It's like when you sort of need a half. He's undoing them. We've got 3 out of 4 bolts done on this side. Is this the hardest side or the easiest side?
Easiest.
Hey Aaron, what did you say to all the people who said you were a bit rough last time?
Good luck doing an exhaust without being a little bit rough sometimes.
Sometimes you got to be a little bit rough to be a good lover, don't you? My hands are empty, I feel bad. But I don't have a beer. Is that the top one?
No, it's the bottom. There's 3 out of 4.
That's 3/4 of the way there. Or 75, or 75%. Quick math. Remove this animal house. So people who said there wasn't room in a 300ZX engine bay obviously didn't tell the rats that live in here. There seems to be enough room for a family of those little bastards. So what we're going to do is fuck off this starter motor for the time being so we can get to the bottom bolts of this side, which means we have to undo the battery on this side so that we don't liven up the body of the car with the cross-contamination, sparks go everywhere. But we've got to remove the battery to this side to get to the top bolt on this side. So it all sort of works out in the end, sort of. So I'll get out, so you get out too. At this stage in the day, I'm removing this battery. There's like 2 different size fucking doohickeys. I need to put these somewhere safe. All right, Jesus Christ. And just like that, we've fucked off the battery. temporarily. And the battery tray. Okay, so what we want to do, because we're going to drop the dump pipe and it's got the O2 sensor in it, is unplug the O2 sensor temporarily. I know, that's the O2 sensor. Right plug this time. Oh, fuck that was. So, what I'm trying to be at the moment is an exhaust person. And I'm not really, fucking hell. Jeez, I keep slipping off the fucking, I'm not slipping through it. I keep coming off the back of the thing. Ah, the double-ended spanner trick. That's a good noise. All right, and just with the 13mm spanner and the brute strength of the muscles in my arm, I've undone this last bolt on the dump pipe. I'm gonna set the exhaust gases free. My hands aren't particularly small. I just want people to know that the rumour about having to have tiny hands, childlike hands, to work on these cars is false. Although it probably would help. How fucking long are these bolts?
Oh, about a week.
Measured in time, are
Measured in time, yeah.
How long it's going to take me to undo a thing?
That's pretty much it.
I have got it with my fingers. Ow. Something.
Wiener!
I am victorious.
Is it screwed to it somehow?
I think it must be bolted to it at some point with those 10mm bolts. It's not a 10mm bolt anymore.
We better drop it down and have a look then.
And just like that, we've taken a dump all over Nissan's fantastic engineering by removing this factory bullshit. And we're ready to put in something a bit nicer. Once we remove this O2 sensor, which is completely black. All right, so we're 1/3 of, whatever. We've got to remove that dump pipe there. So what we've got is a new dump pipe. We're going to have to put the O2 sensor in this part here. Put that into position up here. It sort of just fits like that. Oh, that looks so cool already. Then this bit sort of goes like this into that position there. And that is where the noise of unicorn farts comes from. It's going to fucking be awesome. So it's not a real socket, it's a belter. And just like that.
Yeah, when they're rusted in this tight, you need a little bit more force than just a spanner.
That is the trick of the trade.
So it doesn't even want to come out.
It's
a bit bound up.
It's like intake over the years. Didn't want to come out. We got there though. It's like Elton John after his first marriage. Didn't want to come out. But there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. This is like 30 years old now, you know. It's not nice. This is a tool that I've not seen before. I've got a feeling it's going to go into the new one a bit easier than this. And just like that, just got the thing out, pretty easy. So what Aaron said is basically put the O2 sensor back in the same position as where it came out of the factory dump pipe rather than lower in the exhaust because of different gas temperatures and fluctuations of the gassing. And so what I've done is move the bung from there to there. We're going to put the old O2 sensor back in here, and I'm going to do the same on the other one. So lather, rinse and repeat for the other side. So I'll get to that now.
Great product, these. Thread files.
Oh, let's go. I need one of those. What I really need is the rattle gun, people keep telling me. What's wrong with doing it the old-fashioned way? All right, so I've removed the old gasket. There's nothing really wrong with that, except this one's got the 2-hole, you know, versus 1 big hole. You're always better with 2 smaller holes than 1 big hole. And these don't need glue. You just put them on like that. Sort of hope that that's the right position, that that's the right gasket on the right. Is there a right way for these? Like one side's a bit flatter than the other side.
No, there's not, as long as the hole positions line up in the right direction.
And then what we'll do, hang on, no there's not. It's the wrong direction because it's got to go onto the, what the fuck?
Flip it. And then up the other, no?
No, so it's got the divider there. So these are for use if you fuck this off. And then these are for use if you keep that in. So what do we want to do? What's better?
I'd be using the originals anyway, they're better gaskets than those. Because they're multi-layer shims, the factory ones.
Yep. Yeah, right, so we're using the divider, we're using the original gaskets. Yeah, I'll have to feed that up later on. Oh, fuck. How do we do up the bolts on this, bro? So what we've got going on is that the nut for the underside is going to hit the downpipe. So what we're going to do instead is cut some of that stud down to size so we can slip the bolt on, slip the downpipe on, put the nut on, and then push it in and then do it up. So for that, we're going to need a little bit of PPE. If you're going to cut down any studs, always leave the nuts on there so you can cut the thread back into it. I can take these back off now. Put them over my cool slick back there. More aerodynamic. I'm going to give it a red hot crack. That looks heaps cooler than the factory stuff. Like that is full GDR supercar spec. Like, doesn't matter if it's cross-threaded or torque to spec. Tight's tight. Oh no. I don't know about that. Just loosen off that one a bit. So for those of you playing along at home, there's a step in the middle which you may or may not have to do, and that's cut a new thread onto the existing stud, because this stud's thread's gone a little bit, you know, how you going over the past 30 years. So once we run over it with this, is it a tap? No, it's a die. Over it with a die, it should be mint as. So get that on the studs. Oh fuck yeah, now it's just caught on something else, isn't it? There we go, all right. Start to get it up, get it in there. Get your nuts in position. You're right to get into that tight area. This time the nut seems to be going on a bit easier onto bolt. Wiggle and jiggle inside there. They're on. So barely any time has passed, and ready to fit this mid pipe. So what we're going to do, sort of make sure it's sort of going to fit up there. We've got the 3 new bolts in that dump pipe section. We'll push those out, and the gasket, of course. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's starting to actually look like an exhaust system here. 3 new nuts. Then we can have a look at this side here, see what exactly is going on. So we just need a gasket and a nut for that, which we've taken off earlier and thrown somewhere safe. And before we do it up, we just need to get 2 more gaskets, 2 more bolts for this end, because the kit didn't have the gaskets, but Aaron's got some around his garage somewhere. Right, so what I'll get myself to do, that goes on there, pull that down, that up, that goes in. Same on this one. All right, now this side is now ready to be bolted up. I almost need like a gun of some type. Woo! That's undo. Right. Everything looks better. On any normal car, we'd be done by now, because we've done 1 pipe from the front to the back, but because this car's got like 2 pipes, it's fucking ongoing. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. We're just going to remove the starter motor so that what we can do is gain some access to the driver's side, passenger side for those overseas. Oh, good, because this is heavy. All right, put the starter motor down. So at this point in the afternoon, we've fucked off the starter motor, we've finished off this side, we're ready to just piss off this last bit of the dump pipe on this side. Then we'll be able to install the new pipes and it'll all be done. And we're probably just gonna do a bit of a montage and get to that point because you all want to hear some revies. Let's get to it. Not here to fuck spiders. It's sweating like a pig. It's fucking hot as fuck. We're just about to reinstall the starter motor. So what we're going to do, just because it's not coming back from engaging, we're just going to lube up the shaft. So what I'll get you to do, Aaron, if you can, spray behind the shaft and then we'll lube up the front of the shaft. You don't want to spray the gear, just the shaft.
Yeah, just the shaft.
Always lube the shaft, never your gear.
Just a bit of copper lube, so anti-seize effectively rather than grease.
If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing, yeah, whatever. But now it's coming back in. So hopefully my car should start up every time. That's good stuff, that. Oh shit. And as always, make sure it's torqued to spec. So at this point in the day, we've only got one more pipe to put in. But before we put that in, we better make sure that the starter motor and everything else works that we've disassembled before we sort of block up our access. Once we've tested the starter motor, we'll put this last pipe in and then kick the car in the guts. All right, so now the battery's back in place. Let's start the car up and make sure that starter motor's okay. I'd say that it's still doing exactly what it was doing before, but at least it's starting. There's a tractor in here. I reckon once we kick that thing in the guts a few times, that starter motor will grease itself up. So the starter motor seems okay. Business as usual. Let's put that last pipe on and get rid of that tractor sound. Alright, so we'll just do up the back bolts loosely. You know, it's fantastic. This looks heaps better. So not ooga-doogering, just zipping them up with this fucking awesome tool. I'm gonna have to ooga-dooger it. No, I'm not qualified for this.
So that's actually the little boy's version.
It's been a pretty long day. I'd like to go home now. But we're nearly fucking finished and we may as well get it done. Next time I'm gonna buy a micro. So I've got one more thing to do. Let's just plug in that O2 sensor. There's the O2 sensor there. And just like fucking fishing, I've got it. Just like that. Got the O2 sensor. Plug that in, tuck it down there so it's nice and neat. Some other bullshit. All right, so let's fire this fucking thing up for the first time and see how it goes. And that sounds like an exhaust leak. There's an exhaust leak up the front. Absolutely, there's an exhaust leak there. Fucking hell. You know what? Not one to disappoint. Go to the back of the car. Let's film some noises. We're just going to put the car back up and find out where that leak's coming from. Fuck. So just about to pull the pin on today because as you heard just a second ago, got the exhaust back together and there's a fucking leak in it and we found out where it is. Took these two separators out from the wastegate to the main dump pipe of the turbo and there's two little bolts in them. These little bolts just don't bolt into the dump pipe, they bolt through a fucking open hole. So now we've got two fucking holes in each dump pipe for exhaust gases to come out straight at the firewall and it's leaking like there's no fucking tomorrow and it's pissed me right off. So what we're going to do, because we've been here all day, is get the fuck out of here and come back to it another day. So Cliffhanger is a fantastic movie with Sylvester Stallone. We're going to leave this car here and come back, film it again. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to fix it. Film the aftermath. Film the straight pipe noises. So that thumbnail at the start of this video that says straight pipe noises, total clickbait. Fuck you guys. Not really fuck you guys. You guys are awesome. Like, click, subscribe, notification. Fuck cars. I fucking hate cars. I'm going to start a Lego building channel.